So good morning, everyone. Want to welcome you to this Mental Profits little hangout that I do here. Love and Blab, right? New content, new way to get to folks, to share with folks. So appreciate everyone that's swinging by and stopping in and maybe checking out and then heading out. Wanted to share with you, how long till you win? You know, I get asked a lot as a trainer and as a coach, what is it that I have to do different so that I can succeed? How long is it till I win? How long is it till I see the fruits of my labor? And I got to answer that with a real simple question. When I asked my mentor that question, and I've got a few of them, they say, well, if you're not seeing it today, then you're not working on your goals. What do you mean by that? They said, if you're not seeing the fruits of your labor today, then you're going down the wrong path. I said, I don't get it. All right, so if we were going to get in a car, and I live in Dallas, Texas, and I was going to drive to Houston, if I started heading north, Houston south, if I started heading north and I was driving, how would I know I'm going the wrong way? Because I know where my destination is. So when people say, how long till you win, you've got to be winning every day. See, this is where when I work with clients and I have conversations with them and I set up a mentoring program, some families, some people, some individuals need to have a check-in, take their pulse every 60 minutes. Well, you mean I need to be monitoring what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, where I'm going, what my results are? Yeah. That's exactly what you need to be doing. Because if you don't know if you're on the right task, when would be the best time to know you're not on the right task or the right path or the right journey or in the right vehicle? When should you know that? Well, the answer to that's now. So it's not about taking and going on a sabbatical every hour and taking 59 minutes out of the last hour to figure out, are you on the right path? It's about taking the 5 or 6 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, half a minute at the most, to stop for a minute, take a breath and say, how do I feel? Because I did a training the other day about stress comes from when your feelings and your thoughts and your actions are out of alignment. You've got these feelings, but you've got these thoughts, but you produce these actions. Well, this is out of alignment, and it doesn't create this congruency is the word, right? So how do you stay plugged in? How long till you win? Well, the answer should be you should be winning right now. Yeah, but Sean, I'm nowhere near my goal. I'm not in the right job I want. I'm not with the right person I want, or I'm not with anybody. I got to find somebody, and my family's in a mess. We have this constant battling that's going on. There's nothing going right in my life. Well, then that's the path you're on. I'm not here to be in your face, but that's the reality. So who can change that? Where does stress come from? I mean, there's stress. There's physical stress when you're in a line at the movie theater, or you're trying to in a concert or something, and people are all mushed up against each other. Is that a word, mushed? People, you can feel people pressing on you, right? That's outside stress. But inside stress, I have yet to have somebody show me it in a physical realm. So where does stress come from? It comes from inside. It comes from where we believe we're not enough. We're not doing enough. We're not being enough. So how do we change that? Well, we change it when we make a decision to do what? To change that. Well, I can't. There's too many outside influences that are happening. I can't change that. Yeah, you can. When your favorite song comes on the radio, do you turn it up a little bit louder? Do you maybe even sometimes sing to it? Why? Because it changes your state. Lynn Grabhorn, in a book, an awesome book, one I recommend to my clients. It's Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting, by Lynn Grabhorn. So the life you have right now, where you're at in this moment, doesn't matter whether you're watching this video in the beginning of October or October 2025. The rules of the universe are going to hold true. Energy is what it is. All things are energy. Your energy, your thoughts are energy. They produce results in your body that cause you to feel the way you feel. So how do you change that? Well, you have to decide, do you want to change it? And what do you change it to? The reality of life is that when you change it and you get into a good state and you feel wonderful, is it strong enough? Is it loud enough? Is it pure enough? Is it clear enough that when all of that other stuff, stress shows back up in our life, that this is strong enough to continue to break through, break out, and take us to the next level? Now, it doesn't have to. Sometimes it's life-changing. See, when I work with folks, there's two times in your life that you'll make life-changing decisions in a moment. And I call it the day you've had enough. Now, there's two ways those days that you have enough come into your life. One, they're either given to us. What do you mean given to us, Sean? What do you mean this day you've had enough? What does that mean? It means it's the day you've had enough. It's the day that's been given to you either through maybe some kind of medical challenge. You know, people who smoke all the time, if they go and they get diagnosed with cancer, what do they do with their cigarettes? 4-pack-a-day folks quit like that. Maybe we've been a little bit reckless in driving and we have a near-miss accident. We almost could have really lost our life, and we make a change there. You're forcing everybody to put their seatbelts on, right? Now, there's really no one worse to be around. I shouldn't say worse to be around. Being around a reformed smoker is an interesting time, isn't it? Oh, you shouldn't, especially if you're someone that still smokes. So I say all of that to say, those are days that are given to you. Those are days that show up in your life and you go, I have to make a change, and I've got to do it when? Now. So those are days that we remember. Those are days that really ring true in our hearts, and they stay with us forever. Then there's the more difficult day that you've had enough. And that's the day you decide that you've had enough. We've all made those decisions, right? What's coming up? The new year. New Year's coming up, and this is October 2015. This video is being recorded. So New Year's coming up. And so what's everybody starting to do? They're starting to plan for 2016. They're starting to think about, man, 2015 was okay, but I'm going to make 2016 off the charts. And so January 1 comes around, and we're all about things. We're all for things. We're all tuned into things, and we all get excited about things, but nobody makes it past the 21st of January with these new ideas. And then the cycle repeats itself. See, I'm one of the trained instructors from Dr. Shad Helmstetter, the father of self-talk. Great book. What do you say when you talk to yourself? And it's in these mindsets, it's in this conversation that happens in our own cellular activity up here that causes us to produce things, to habitually do things. See, because everything you've ever said, everything you've ever done has been recorded in your brain. I don't know if that's true. No, it's true. Let me give you a perfect example of how I know that's true. If you were to meet somebody back from grade school, you may not remember them, but when they start to tell you, remember, I was the one that poured the glue on Sally, or she poured the glue on me, or I put the paint all over the wall, and you go, oh my gosh, I haven't thought of that in years. Those are the kind of memories. They're all in there. The thing that we understand now about the mind is that anything that's repeated on a regular basis becomes permanent in the mind. It becomes a pathway, and it's an easier pathway. So how long till you win? Till you make a decision, till you decide to get off that highway of always me, woe is me, nothing ever goes right for me, and decide to move to a new level. And decide to go to a new level so that you can make a decision for yourself. You can create some new pathways for yourself, but it comes through repetition. Well, Sean, I tried those little sticky notes, and I put all these affirmations all over the house. I had them on my steering wheel. I had them on the car. I had them everywhere. They were everywhere. It didn't work for me. It's because something's missing. Remember when I said earlier, those days that you've had enough? Those had a huge emotional tie to them. That's kind of the glue. That's the part that that can override any pre-programming is this emotional intensity. 11 years ago, 12 years ago, here in October, Mason was born, my son. I knew I was going to be a dad. I've heard about being a dad. I was reading a book about being a dad. But I can tell you with the instant 12 years ago, like it was yesterday, like it was 5 minutes ago, exactly what happened when he was born. And I can tell you the emotion that I felt. So that'll never leave my mind because there was so much emotion tied to it. So when you go off when you decide that today's the day you're going to win, you've got to tie some emotion to it. Tony Robbins talks about taking where you're at and where you want to go, or the challenges, and he does this whole training on it, and slamming your hands together, and it breaks up the pattern inside the mind, because now what was and what is all of a sudden together, and it's a pretty powerful exercise. The point is that you need to decide when enough is enough. The good news is that you know when you can be taken off that path. You know what not moving towards your goal is like. How do I know that? Because you've been doing it. That's how I know you're doing that, because you've been moving to that non-goal for so long. So find a way to take some time on an hourly basis. I don't care if it's at lunch or if it's at dinner, but find a way to take some time for you and for yourself to say, where am I at? And then I'm going to encourage you. Nothing exists till it's written down, till it shows up somewhere. So get yourself a planner. Get yourself someplace to where you can start putting down your thoughts, putting down your memories, creating your own ideas, your own ideals, and then have that as a record for you to be able to follow through on it. Because if today's the day that you've had it, welcome midnight. If today's the day you've had enough, then make it the day. Don't make tomorrow the next day you've had enough. You know, most people can't make it through the 21 days to change a habit. That's what they've proven. It takes about 21 days to reprogram, to allow this new habit to become permanent enough that it becomes a habit. Well, why 21 days? I don't know why 21 days, but I can tell you this. If you've ever known anybody that smoked, how many cigarettes in a pack of cigarettes? 20. They spend a lot of money figuring out how many times it takes to form a habit. So I say all of that to say this. How long till you win? It's up to you to decide that. You can't be waiting for another break to show up, or you can't be waiting for this. Well, how come nothing ever good happens to me? I'm not going to go into the whole law of attraction, but I will talk to you about energy. What you think about, you bring about. What you think about and think about, you bring about. What are you thankful for? Even the challenges in life, right? If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Nobody wants to have to deal with that. And it's a great little phrase to say to somebody that's not going through something that's killing them and making them just totally exhausted at the end of the day. But I can tell you this, if you want to raise your energy, if you want to feel better and just have a moment that's for you, music's a pretty darn good thing to do that. It does change your state, change your environment. So how long till you win? How long till you want to decide to feel better? Now that I can tell you can happen in the next 10 seconds. Stand up and laugh, jump up and down, do something silly, lay down in the middle of the floor in a crowded area. Why would I do that? Because you need to change the way you do things, right? Wayne Dyer says, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. You're going to have the next 24 hours. So it's 9:42 here, Central Standard Time. 9:42 is going to show up tomorrow. What are you going to do in the next 24 hours to make you better, to have you feel more, be more, do more? That's where it comes down to the question, because it's not about what happens outside. If stress is kicking your butt, then I can tell you this. If stress is doing that, then that stress is coming from the inside. And it's up to you to control that. Well, Sean, you don't understand my life. I know, I don't. I probably never would. Doesn't matter how long we talk about it. But what I can tell you is that no matter what the stress is on the outside, you get to decide how you deal with it on the inside. But you don't know what I've been through. I know that. But if you keep talking about what you've been through, my guess is you're going to go through that again. I was reading somewhere last couple of days about a Nobel Prize in science was given to a scientist, And what was given to him on was the fact that what a cell is just the instant before it duplicates, it replicates, right? We know that our cells are duplicating all the time, millions and millions of times a minute in our body. And what he found out is that what is in the new cell, in the replicated cell, was exactly what was in the cell just prior to duplication. So what does that mean? It means that what we are right now is going to produce and create what we're going to be in the next minute. So if you're sad this instant, there's a good chance you're sad this instant. And now this instant. Until when? Until you change it. Because I remember growing up, I was a baby of the family. I had 2 older brothers. And when I was sad or crying or got hurt or something, my brothers would try to make me laugh. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but when somebody tried to make you laugh when you're mad, you didn't laugh. You got what? You got madder. So when you experience life on the outside and in your stress, and it's trying to make you excited, make you feel a little bit better, make you have a better day, you can either resist, right? What we resist persists. You can either resist that, or you can decide, I'm going to let that in. I'm going to let that joy in. Here's an example. So this is a water bottle, right? There's water in it. If the water inside here was hot, can I feel the water? Well, not if it's inside the bottle, but how would I know it's hot? Well, the bottle would get hot. Why? Because what's inside transfers to the outside. If I took this same bottle of water right now, room temperature, and I put it in the freezer, what would happen to the water in here? It would eventually what? Freeze. Because whatever's on the outside gets through and can change you on the inside. So the question then becomes, am I a conduit or not? The answer is you're a conduit. Anything that happens either on the inside comes out or on the outside comes in. You just have to decide which area is going to be the residing, the strength, where you're going to reside. So are you going to reside on the inside and influence out? Or are you going to let life can constantly influence you for the rest of your life and change your state of being every minute of every day? I hope this is making sense. If it is, feel free to ask a question or make a comment if you want. So what do I do? Well, okay, so now if I understand that I'm the conduit and that whether I'm, no matter where life affects me, it's going to pass through me. If you're excited and joyful, people are going to see that smile. If you're the grumpy person that everybody talks about, that's because grumpiness is on the inside. Decide what you want to be. Decide where you want to get to. And when your why is big enough, when your why of how important it is to be in that state, then the how doesn't matter. I take this water that's inside here and I put it in a 3-gallon jug or a 5-gallon bucket. Is the water any different? No, but the container that it's in, it changed its shape. It adapted and adopted. That's what we do on a daily basis. If you're parents, you do that on a regular basis. You adapt, you adopt to the different families, the different situations that you're in. So how long till you win? How long till you want to win? Yeah, but my goal is so big. What's that phrase? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Most difficult step to take on a journey is what? The first step. You've just got to make a decision. Not telling you to, if you want to be a public speaker, to go out and stand in front of 1 million people in stadiums and coliseums. Just saying, learn how to have some conversations that are intriguing. If you want to be interesting, be interested. Well, I'm in network marketing and I want to make $10,000 a month and I haven't made a check in ever. Well, start with doing the right activities. There's activities that'll take you up to success and there's activities that'll take you down to failure, right? Jim Rohn says a handful of things will help you win and a handful of things will help you fail. So how long till you win? You've got to decide. These are conversations I have with my students every day. And there's days that when I talk to my mentor, I'm going, what am I doing this for? Well, He says, well, you've lost your vision. You got to open your eyes again. You got to look in your heart. What you're doing makes a difference. And you say you want to do it on a global scale. You want to give 1 million hugs before you die. And the answer to that is yes. He goes, well, have you finished that? And the answer is no. And he says, well, then I suggest we get back to work. So we all need our checks. We all need our balances. How long till you win? Find somebody that believes in your win, believes in the thing that you want to do as much as you do, and use them as a sounding board. Because I can tell you, Ralph Waldo Emerson said, there's something that you do so well, people wish they could do it half as well. So when you doubt your abilities and you doubt your capabilities and you doubt, should you really be watching and living this vision? I'm going to share with you the answer to that is yes. But what's happening is that old programming is showing up, that old self-talk is showing up going, you can't do that. I told you when you were 5 years old, you'd never be anything. An aunt, an uncle, a brother, a cousin, somebody. And that programming rings true. So just decide today's the day. This moment's the moment. Right now, write it down somewhere. I am winning. And in that kinesthetic connection to not just saying it out loud, hearing the auditory, doing the kinesthetic, being involved on a physical scale, it changes stuff. I've had people, when they write that down, they just break down in tears. They go, what's the matter? They go, I never knew I could. Because here's what it comes down to. Whose permission do you need to win? Think about that question. Whose permission do you need to win? Need only yours. When you decide that I'm okay, I'm going to win, then you got to decide who could take that permission away from you. Answer those two questions and you're well on your way to winning, or well on your way to deciding when you're going to win. At least you now know what you have to change. Because I can promise you, there's nothing you need to learn today to move towards your goal. There's nothing. Because in the moving of doing what you already know today, right now, doing what you know right now will cause you to be exposed to the next step and the next step and the next step. So you're trying to get to step 15 when you haven't taken your foot off the ground floor. You've got to take step 1. Step 1 is take care of you. Put yourself in charge of you. Put yourself in a way that you know what you need to do, have to do, get to do. And you may have some fun with it. So there you go. There's a how long till you win kind of conversation. If this has been valuable, when the recording goes up, share it with a friend. Leave me a comment. Send me a note. Right? You can find me on Twitter, of course, here. My email address is Sean G. Murphy, SeanGMurphy now. So Sean G. Murphy now at gmail.com. My phone number is 469-834-9063. Why would I give that to you? Well, why not? If I'm going to help, if I want to be of service, of value, why not be today? Why wait till tomorrow? So it's my blessing to be able to give back, pay it forward. So that's why I get to do these things. I hope you have an outstanding day. Go over to MentalProfits.com. There's a podcast that's starting there and kind of audios like this and some videos. Find me on YouTube or Facebook or any of those locations. I appreciate you swinging by, listening. For those of you that hung out with me today, thanks for being here. So I'll see you where? At the next event. Till then, I'm Sean Murphy, founder of Mental Profits, and bye for now.